Research speaker for this afternoon is the chairperson took up the BS Forestry Program and a master's degree in the Forestry Program in January 2020 to present. She is the head of the Faculty and Staff Development Program of SLSU from January to March 2022, a Dean of College of Agriculture, May 11, 2015 to January 2022. She is also the director of the SLSU Agricultural Research and Development Center from August 2012 to May 2015. She was the secretary of Philippine Forestry Education Network Incorporated in September 2019 up to present, and they have an ongoing research on inventory and assessment of flora, fauna, and natural fungi in Banahaw de Lucban, and she is the project leader of that project. We also have an ongoing research regarding the reproductive phenology, propagation, and habitat characterization of threatened and economically valuable flora in Mount Banahaw de Lucban as the project leader also. So without further ado, let us listen well to our research speaker for this afternoon, Dr. Amalia Almazol.
Okay, good afternoon po. Okay po. Good afternoon, everybody. So I am here to present to you my presentation regarding diversity and distribution of native bees in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape, Philippines. So it is not only confined to Mount Banahaw de Lucban, but our research was conducted in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape. We are four in this research. Our previous president of SLSU, Dr. Cecilia Gascon, yours truly, Forester Ronald C. Garcia, and Mr. Maynard M. Vitoriano, our research assistants. So, Dr. Gascon is now president of Bulacan State University. Okay, our research was conducted in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape. Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape is the only remaining forested in Southern Luzon or Southern Tagalog. It is by 10 municipalities or 9 municipalities and 1 city. Mount Banahaw covers Laguna and Quezon provinces. It has a total land area of 11,133 hectares, and it is a water source for more than 1 million Filipinos or residing in Laguna and Quezon provinces. Mount Banahaw is a plant community. So, accordingly, it has a 66% endemism of flora and fauna in Laguna and Quezon. And Mount Banahaw is also a site of many religious activities, especially the Mount Banahaw de Dolores in Quezon province. And it affects the integrity of the mountain. Okay. It is a watershed with interacting physical, biological, and socioeconomic components that enable the ecosystem to perform productive, protective education, and other environmental services. And bees plays a significant role in ecosystem. So the objective of this study is to determine the native species of bees and bee nest distribution in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape. So our study site, Mount Banahaw de Lucban, Timahayhay in Laguna side, and Mount Banahaw de Dolores. Okay, this one is the protected area or the protected landscape. Okay, the methodology is secondary data collection and validation. Our secondary data were conducted from previous pertinent documents, maps, and previous researches conducted in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape. And opportunistic sampling was done to get or to gather data of the primary data for the bees. And mapping also done. So yung the mapping was done in our GIS laboratory, and the species distribution per elevation was analyzed. So for the results, there are different species of bees, the Apidae. So there are 5 families of bees. Okay, Halictidae and Megachilidae. So this species, this family of bees, the Apidae are common bees, or the honeybees are included in this family, or the common bees, the honeybees, stingless bees, the sugar-bug bees. Coridae, or the long-tongued bees, this one. The Colitidae, or the plasterer bees, or polyester bees. The Halictidae, or the sweat bees, and Megachilidae, fire-tailed resin bee. So these are they are 16 species under 5 families of bees. So honeybees, these are the honeybees. This one, the Apis cerana, the Apis breviligula, and the Tetragonola beroi. So for the species distribution, the bee nest distribution, here, this is a portion of Mount Banahaw de Lucban. Our data collection is merely concentrated in Mount Banahaw de Lucban and Timahayhay and the Mount Banahaw de Dolores. So 86 species, 86 nests of Apis breviligula, 36 nests of Apis cerana, and 42 nests of Tetragonola beroi. So these species, these 3 species, the first 3 species, the Apis breviligula, Apis cerana, and the Tetragonola beroi are honey-producing bees. Wild honey-producing bees. The Xylocopa species and the Spicodis species are solitary bees. So they are not honey-producing bees. So what? 66% of within 100 meters away, 77% 200 meters away from agricultural land, 99% within 500 meters, and 88% of all nests were located in agricultural areas. This means that bees are mostly confined within or nearby agricultural areas wherein they can get their food or food source. So these are the distribution of beehives or bee nests and different altitudes. So if you can see here, confined to from 500 to almost 800 or 900 meters above sea level elevation ranges. So Mount Banahaw de Lucban and Mahayhay and De Dolores here. So this is the graph representing the bee nest per species per elevation. So Apis breviligula here, these species are the Asian bees, the giant Asian bees, the Apis breviligula. The Apis cerana here is the native laywan, and Tetralabiroy here. So most of Apis breviligula, there are higher, the elevation 500 to 600 meters above sea level. We can find the Apis breviligula and Apis cerana here. This area, this elevation is nearby agricultural areas where farming is the prominent land use in this elevation. The Tetragonola biroy, we can find Tetragonola biroy or the stingless bees here from 400 to 700 meters above sea level. And as the elevation gets higher, the species or the bee nest is decreasing here. Okay, the Spicodes or the Halictus species, the sweat bees, is just found at 700 to 800 meters elevation. These bees are burrowing. So the nests are found inside or burrowing in the soil at this elevation. So clustering of bees in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal Protected Landscape. Okay, they are found, the distribution is clustered. Okay, clustering at the lower elevation. The Apis breviligula, most of the nests of the Apis breviligula are found higher on the branches, hanging on the branches of the trees. So this arrow showing or pointing the nest here and here. So those are the nests of Apis breviligula, the giant Asian bees. While Apis are burrowing, or they are found in crevices, okay, in soil, in pots, in dead trees, in soil, okay, even in pipes. So food sources, we can see those bees. So these are Xylocopa, the carpenter Xylocopa, foraging on Mojave or Vitex parviflora. This one, the Duranta species. This one is kapa-kapa. And wild strawberry, the Apis cerana here, the Apis cerana, and so foraging in wild strawberry, in flowers of ornamental plants, in weeds, the Apis breviligula. So Apis breviligula here. So in foraging in Mimosa pudica and other forest trees, even in Culbulaceae, the sweet potato. Some species of stingless bees are foraging in on agricultural crops. This this flower is a flower of radish. Also foraging in sweet potato, in ipil-ipil or Leucena leucocephala, found on the flower of guava and other wild plants. So different species of bees, the Xylocopa or the carpenter bees, here, the big one, Apana. Those are the wild honeybees, except the solitary bees here. So they are foraging on different species of plants, even it is agricultural crops or wild species of weeds. Okay. Wild sunflower or Tithonia species, wild cover crops or the uupo, and ornamental plants. Okay, for the summary and conclusion, ATBs in Mount Banahaw, San Cristobal were determined and assessed. Venus distribution was located through survey and GIS mapping. There were 15 species of native bees belonging to 5 families and 11 genera. Bees tend to thrive in lower elevation and in areas near their food sources, such as agricultural crops, trees or shrubs, and even those classified as weeds. So the diversity, including the honeybees, the diversity is low, 1.17. However, when the study is, when our output is being confined only in Mount Banahaw de Lucban, the diversity is high. It became 4 point something. So the distribution is cluster or clump. Beehive density is 4 hives per 10 hectares, and the pollen sources or the food sources of these bees are plants belonging to different life forms, vines, herbs, shrubs, even weeds. Okay. For the recommendation, a more detailed assessment of bee nesting preference and habitat, and continuous conservation of the area, because conservation is necessary for not only for the bees but for other species of plants and animals. So I would like to acknowledge our funding source, the Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Agricultural Research, the SLSU, for allowing to conduct this study, and the DNR PAMBI of Mount Banahaw Cristobal Protected Landscape for allowing us to conduct this study in the area. So that's all. If you have question, so thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Fiona, and I'm from Southern Luzon. I would like to ask, before this, you saw a different bee data based on elevation. So, are there any differences in bee types or maybe habit within the same species but at different elevation? Thanks for this. Thank you. Thank you. So, I would like to repeat that question again. Their question is if there is a difference between the bee types or the bee behaviors depending on their varied elevations based on the experience in conducting your study. Did you understand what Ms. Dr. Almazol?
Sorry po. Hindi ko po. Sorry po, I can't understand because of echo.
Okay, so the question is, what are the different bee kinds or bee types and their bee behaviors when they are located in varying elevations? Are there variations in their behavior or in characteristics when they are located in lower elevations or in higher elevations?
Okay. So bees, there are overlap. The bee types, they can we can found different species of bees at different elevation. They can overlap. The presence of the bees are overlapping. However, most of the bees are found at the lower elevation, mostly from 5 meters above sea level to 800 meters above sea level because of the proximity to the food sources. However, the Apis breviligula, the giant bees are found in higher elevation, even at 1,000 meters above sea level. The hive, they can forage even at that higher elevation, and they can stay at that high elevation because their nest hanging on trees, higher trees. Did I answer your query?
So what if they are of the same species, but they are located in varying elevations? Is that possible?
Yes,
Or
even
in such conditions?
The same species, yes, they can be found at different elevation at the same time. Same species of bees
they are of the same
can be
species.
found.
Will they have different behaviors or different kinds? Even though they
Yes,
have the same
they have
species, but
different.
they are located in different elevations.
Different species have different behavior, of course, but same species. But these different species can be found at the same elevation. They can overlap their food sources. They can be found foraging at the same plant or same species of plant. They cannot compete. They cannot compete. They cannot. They can get their food on the same species of plant. They can the honey or the pollen and nectar from the same plant. So they can be found in complementary with each other.
Thank you for answering that question. Let's move on to the next question. It is, in the conclusion, what is the difference of using the number of hives compared to using the number of individuals in finding the species diversity? Again, in the conclusion, what is the difference of using the number of hives compared to using the number of individuals in finding the species diversity?
Okay. Hive or nest is applicable to the their house or their nest, but number of individual because some species are solitary. They can live on their own, so they are solitary, while other bees are eusocial, or they can live in colonies. So there are more bees, more individuals in like Apis breviligula, Apis cerana, and the stingless bees, the Tetragonola biroi, are living in colonies. So we cannot say one individual, or because we cannot count them one by one. However, solitary bees like the Xylocopi species, we can count them as in number of individual, because nest of Apis breviligula, cerana, and Tetragonola biroi are composed of almost 1,000 number of individuals. The matured bees. There are also immature bees within the nest. We cannot say that we count those those colonies as one colony or one nest, just the nest, not the number of individuals, because if we count the number of individuals, it is not possible to count them, because sting, we can be stung by them while counting. That's the PPT.
For answering that
okay,
question.
we can show.
And for the next question, we actually have a short question. Does the PPT material will be available for the participants? So I'll just leave this question up to the discretion of the presenter and to the discretion of SLSU to provide this PPT material. With that, let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
So, did you gain interest in studying bees? What other insect species do you think need or needs to be studied more, most especially here in our country? And I am assuming that the person who wrote that is from the Philippines, hopefully. So I'll rephrase the question. How did you gain interest in studying bees? What other insect species do you think needs to be studied more, most especially here in the Philippines?
Okay, because bees are one of insects which can be reared or cultured, like the honeybees. As what I've said in my presentation, these bees are as pollinator. These bees could have effect in our society because those bees can be a source of income. Specifically the honeybees, because it can produce honey and other byproducts. The honey which are produced by the bees is just only one product of the honeybees. Other interesting products produced by the honeybees are the propolis, the wax, and the pollinating effect of these bees, not just the honeybees, but the other bees. So other insects are like butterfly is very interesting to study because butterfly as one of the pollinator species also could be a source of income also, the livelihood, because so can I share? Because this species can increase or can boost the livelihood of the people. We can get income, so it can answer food security because of the pollinating effect of these species. So pollination not only the fruit trees or the agricultural crops, but the forest trees also. So while the people are having a livelihood, so the food security, so because of that, it could be a source of income. So it has an effect on our economy. So there will be food security, economy, and it has an effect also on our biodiversity because there are importance of bees, not just for honey. Bees as pollinator. So the pollinating effect helps plant to reproduce, and it has an effect to food security and economic stability. So as a pollinator also, it has an effect to prevent inbreeding or inbreeding depression of crops or plants, of course. And as a wild plant growth, so as a food source also, bees as a food source of other animals, and as in food chain, so it is a part of food chain, and as wildlife habitats also. So it has an interconnecting effect of on our ecosystem. So it could increase biodiversity. So as pollinators, bees play as part in every aspect of the ecosystem. It contributes or support the growth of trees, flowers, and other plants, which serves as food and shelter for creatures, large and small. This contributes to complex, interconnected ecosystem that allow a diverse number of different species to coexist. So that's why we are very interested to study more of bees. It is just started from our interest for beekeeping. So yun. Thank you.
Let's move on to the next question. Good day, Dr. Almazol. I am actually conducting my thesis on projecting the suitable habitats of honeybees based on the biological characteristics of an area. Are there certain factors, for example, temperature or elevation, that are considered as most important to the occurrence of honeybees? Repeat. Good day, Dr. Almazol. I am actually conducting my thesis on projecting the suitable habitats of honeybees based on the biophysical characteristics of an area. Are there certain factors, such as temperature or elevation, that are considered as most important to the occurrence of honeybees?
Okay. So as what I've said before, that bees can be found from lower elevation to high elevation wherein the food sources are present. Other factors such as temperature or elevation has an effect on their presence in the area. Like what I've said, higher elevation tends to have as we all know that higher elevation have high wind diversity, wind speed, or the temperature in the area could affect the life, the activity of bees. That's why we could protect the ecosystem as a whole, not just the certain elevation, because these bees are suited primarily on their prepared habitat. Just you can do in the area is to produce or to sustain the food sources in the area, even it is the wild plants or, as we could said, the weeds in the area is very important, even it is a invasive species, as long as this species have flowers, the pollen, the nectars, because pollen are the source of their energy. It is high in protein. So the only food of bees are nectar and pollen. So the nectar is being converted into honey, if it is honeybees, it is a source of their energy. Without pollen, this could be died.
To our next question. Aside from the elevation and proximity to the food source, what are the other aside from elevation and proximity to the food source, what are the other factors affecting the number of population of the various species?
Okay. So I think disturbance of the area have a great contribution to the, or one of the factors affecting the number of population of these species. So as what I've said, the disturbance of the area, if the area, so like pollution, air pollution has a contributing factor on the survival of this species, because so air pollutants when interact with the molecules or scent of the plants which bees need to locate foods, these air pollutants can mix signals interfere with the ability to forage efficiently. So making them slower or less effective at pollination. So because the scent of the flower guides the bees to locate their food. So if the pollutants pollutants or the herbicides or other chemicals are present in the air, the bees, of course, it can affect the foraging ability of the bees. Also, the climate, the flowering, because climate or climate change affect also the flowering and fruiting, the phenology of plants in the area, so that if the climate or the temperature, the humidity varies or alter in the area because of the happening climate scenario in the area, it could also affect the number of bees. Of course, the foraging, the phenology or the flowering and fruiting of those plants affected by this phenomena can affect also the food sources of bees. So it could affect the presence of bees in the area, like the CCDs, the climate, because it has an effect on the behavior of bees. And like what I've said, it is happening in our, not only in our country, but in the world. So the colony collapse disorder because of this climate change. So it happened not only in the Philippines.
Again, thank you for answering that question. And lastly, even though this is the last question, the delegates and participants can ask further questions using the slide link or by raising their hands. So let me read out the last question. What can you say to inspire the future foresters here in the Philippines to study more species here in our country, given that the forestry being treated as not an in-demand forest. Again, what can you say to inspire the future foresters here in the Philippines to study more species here in our country? Again, that the forestry degree is being treated as a not an in-demand forest.
Okay, our profession as a forester, I can say that our profession is very in demand. So we can do our best to create our own forest. How? We can plant anywhere. We can do like we can do entrepreneurship in our own because foresters we can say that forest is a lung of the earth and we are the steward of God's creation, and forestry is a very in-demand course, not only in the Philippines but in other country. So we cannot take good care the forest if we don't know how to take care of it. So foresters are those who could do that, not other profession.
For answering that last question, may I ask again the delegates or the participants, do we have any more further questions, concerns regarding our, or regarding the session that was just going once, going twice, going thrice? Seeing as there are not, let us move on to the certificate passing or the giving of appreciation. So, for Dr. Amalia Almazol, this certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Dr. Amalia Almazol for being an outstanding speaker in the International Policy Students Association Asia Pacific Regional Meeting 2023, held on the 12th day of April 2023. This certificate is given as a sign of appreciation. This is signed by the head of organizing committee, John Lawrence Reyes, co-head of organizing committee, signed also by the head of organizing committee, Sir Jonathan Lawrence. Finally, signed by the president of IPSA of the state president. So may I ask, Madam Dr. Amalia Almazol to turn on her camera for the picture taking with the certificate. So let's ready up. One, 2, 3, smile. Thank you so much. And with that, I would also like to ask our participants and our delegates to please stand up and head to the stage for the picture taking with our resource speaker. I also would like to request our Zoom participants to please turn on your cameras for the picture taking. Again, all participants, please head to the stage for the picture taking. And for the Zoom participants right now online, please turn on your cameras for picture taking.